Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Looney Balloony Learning Center. As always, I am Tess, and this big guy here with me is Randy.
Hi.
Husband, otherwise known as my right-hand man.
Right.
So we're going to start off this week's podcast. This is number 3, and we're very excited for it. But the icing on the cake today is, I read the press release yesterday from Tuftex. They have acquired the manufacturing facility in Hamilton, Ontario, which is our next door neighbor here in Guelph.
Yes.
So we're very happy to hear that they're going to resume manufacturing there, and they're going to be bringing their line to Canada manufacturing. Very
Yay.
excited. Congratulations, Tuftex. I'm very happy for you.
Raise the roof.
I don't know what he took today, guys. I'm sorry. Anyways, congratulations to Tuftex. And again, I will renew my plea to please make 260s for all the decorators in the world out there that we desperately need them. We love your colors. We love your product. Just give us the 260s to go with it.
It makes it easier to color match.
Yeah, very much. So this week we are talking about the weather, and that's especially important. Well, I guess it depends on the extremes of where you live, right? Canada, we have much colder weather, so we have to have a few changes. Hawaii, when we lived in Hawaii, that had a very different set of problems, the oxidization and everything. So today I'm going to take you through what I do to try and compensate for the weather out there and the craziness, because we have here in Canada, it can extreme changes throughout the day from
winter in the morning, summer in the afternoon, and fall at night.
And that is very true, unfortunately. So we have to do different things. If you're living in South Florida, you're going to have a different set of problems. If you're living more in the Northwest Territories or Alaska, that's a whole other thing. So,
or in Ireland.
We had someone today just join in our group from Ireland.
Yep.
We have we have a Facebook chat group, and it's called the Looney Balloony Learning Center Freebie Chat. Mm-hmm. And you're more than welcome to join us in that group. And that's where I do my weekly lives, and everything is out of there. A lot of tips and tricks coming to you free right there. And yeah, we had from Johannesburg yesterday come into the group, and Limerick, Ireland today, which is great. We have friends in Limerick.
Yes, that's small world.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back to
the weather. Okay. So where you live will be a big difference. We're going to tackle the cold first. And then if you saw my sneak peek earlier this week, we will, once we've talked about everything cold, we're going to pause for the cause, change up, and I'll bring in the sticks that I had outside, and we'll go over the findings from there, okay? So cold weather, Randy, the first big thing we do is every design that goes out the door goes in a plastic bag.
Yes. We have mattress bags that we purchase from a distributor up here. We're not going to name them because you might.
Yeah, we don't want to give plugs. So
unless we want sponsored by them, then we'll shamelessly plug. No, anyways.
No, that's not true. Anyways, so look around for suppliers. There's a lot out there, or you can message me, and I'll be more than happy to share. Anyways, so every design that goes out our door, whether it be summer, winter, fall, spring, doesn't matter, goes in a bag. One, it's easier for this big guy to maneuver it to deliver. 2, it's really nice that extra perceived value. I put fancy ribbons on the bags to close it. Perceived value, it looks like you took that a little bit of extra care. Of course, environmental impact, we encourage the clients to either recycle it, use it for something, or let us know, we'll come around and we'll pick it up to reuse it.
Yeah.
Because we reuse it for taking to our big venues. We'll stuff our clouds and everything in there to take them back. But anyways, we really do try to be environmentally, but those balloon bags or mattress bags are a huge saver of your designs, okay?
Just on the delivery note, me being the delivery driver, if I got a big wind, oh my God, it takes it away like a kite. But I've delivered when we first started out without the bags.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
I broke pop balloons because I went by a tree and something hit it. And
yeah, it's a little bit of insurance for getting up to the door, right? So if you snag the bag we try and leave some air in the bag to give it like some insulation. If you snag the bag, it's going to give you an indicator before you actually snag the balloons, and you can correct, right? So it's a really big help. I would encourage you to contemplate using them. When it's windy, he hangs onto one corner and lets it go, and it flies like a kite. But it's easier for him to get a control of again than having to have a death grip on the balloons trying to keep them from going, right? So he's saved a lot of the designs that way. Plus, please make sure before the design goes out, we do the shake test. Make sure nothing's going to fall off of it so that it's very secure. But in the winter, we're going to go back to Science 101, right? Hot air expands, cold air contracts. So in the winter, in the cold air, your foils you might have filled it up nice and tight in your studio, and then you go outside and it's worse than this even, it's gonna look like it's got busted a big hole and it's gonna get soft. So, and then once they come inside and they warm up, they will come back to where they're supposed to be. But even your glue will get hard in the winter and become brittle and detach very easily. So it's important. On the delivery end, in the wintertime, Randy goes to the door, knocks on the door, gets the recipient there and says, okay, now I'm going to go get your balloons from the van. It's going to be a quick shuttle in. Because when it's like minus 40 with the wind chill, you got to get going. And taking them out, waiting at the door for them to come to open the door for you, you're going to have a shriveled mess. So that's one thing.
Especially if sometimes the clients, they got to put dogs away and stuff like that, or get the kids
out of the
wrangled
way.
up. So it might be like 2-3 minutes and you can't stand out there with the balloons just going, and you go, hi.
Yeah, it's not a good presentation at that point. So it's much better when he goes to the door and says, hi, I'm Randy from Looney Balloony and I have your balloons here. If you can stand at the door, I'm going to rush them in so that the weather doesn't damage your balloons. And they're all super happy to do it. And he comes up, they've got the door open and it's straight inside and it's no problem. The only other change I do in the winter, I put less things on the top of these foils. Mm-hmm. I do the designs more on the base, than relying on these to be structurally holding something up top. Because if
no one can see you.
Oh, I know, but I'm showing the balloon right now. If you have a bunch of stuff structural on top of it and it starts to deflate because of the cold, you're really taking a risk of it reinflating in the same position. So I do in the winter minimal additions on the top versus in the summer I'll pile everything on the top in the summer. I have fun with that. But so keep in mind your foils are going to be the most noticeable to your temperature changes, okay? And you got like 5 degrees before you're going to start noticing a difference. Flux. But when you're in a 20-degree studio and you go out to minus 20 degrees outside, oh yeah, within seconds they're going to start not failing on you, but folding down.
She's also doing Celsius, so we're talking about 72 to basically 0 or -5 outdoors.
Yeah, for Fahrenheit, for our American friends. So you really you have to plan for that delivery or even installation. We do installs outside in the winter, but you have to plan for it. We do a Christmas marathon we did last year. You have to take that into consideration. So you fill up as much as you can in your studio, and you would have it tight in your studio, but leave the nozzle down so that when you get on site, you can add more air to it, okay? So that you can have it be firm on site in the cold air, and then you would glue it up. You do have to tell your clients, however, that if they want it to be brought inside afterwards, they're gonna pop, because you've got these filled with so much air. When it comes into a standard room temperature house or building, it's gonna pop because that air is going to expand and it's going to be too much for in your foil.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Even the latex becomes very malleable.
Yeah.
In the wintertime when it's cold, it feels
like a week-old balloon in your studio.
Very plasticky.
Yeah.
Because the molecules inside have stretched and the air inside has shrunk, so it's
brittle.
yeah,
It can get brittle.
It's got an odd feel to
Yeah.
it.
So to recap, winter, colder temperatures, overinflate, and if you're going to be doing it outside, then you have to top it up and get to your destination, get it inside very quickly. If you're doing a venue setup where you're going to be bringing it inside and then assembling there, you can adjust very well in there. You have a bigger problem with that in the summer. Okay, so getting to the summer months, you would want, if it's going outside, you would need to really underinflate it. Like even this one might even be, it depends on your temperature, right? So you have to do some experiments on your own in your area to see what's going to hold and what's not, and to figure out where you have to fill to before it's going to explode. Indoors, we have to adjust for everyone's air conditioning temperature is different.
Preference.
Preference.
Their preference is different.
We've delivered, and in our 22-degree studio, I've got it all beautiful and it's fine. And we deliver, and I'll get a call or a message. Oh, it's falling down and falling over. And I'm like, okay, how cold do you have it in your house? And they're like, 17 degrees. And I'm like, that's why.
And they're, not to judge, they're wearing hoodies
in the summer. And we're like, okay, if we take that up a few notches and let's get it in around the 20 degrees, it's going to be fine. I get a call back in an hour or so, and they're like, it's fine. Thank you so much. Not a problem.
Or we've had to where we've
had to go back
and pump up the foils, and
a little bit
all
more
good.
because they really like it cool in their house. And again, not a judgment. We keep ours in and around the 21, 22 mark.
Yeah.
Because we like it a little warmer, but
we're also
yeah, we're running around like crazy.
And inside, outside, inside, outside.
Yeah. Anyways, so summer, you're going to want to leave room if it's going outside because hot air expands, right? You need to have room. And for the latex in the summer, you're going to, let's take an 11-inch, for example. You're going to blow that up to max like 11-inch and then size it down to like an 8. That's what I did with our examples, and I'll get to showing you that here in a few minutes. That allows room for that hot air in the latex to expand. Okay, you want that. It's not as noticeable to the eye as the foils. Yeah. That expansion and contraction in the latex, not as noticeable. There's much more of leeway in the latex. The foils, man, are like a colicky baby.
And the glue dashes and glue dots hold really well.
In the winter, or in the summer.
In the summertime.
Sorry, when the glue is warm. Oh yeah, sticky. In fact, you have to be careful they don't get too warm, or else you can't get them off their fingers. But yeah, so the hot of the summer will expand all the air in your balloons. And so if you have a client and they're like, oh, I need a 50th anniversary balloon design for Sunday, whatever. The first question you should be asking is it going inside or outside? Okay, because that is important, and it's going to determine how you make your design. And make notes because if they told you it's going outside and you design for inside and it goes outside and it explodes, you're going to have to refund, right? So
yeah, and try to talk them out of the black numbers.
Yes. Okay, so black or dark colors as a whole, okay? I strongly discourage to be outside in the summer. Think about it. If you're wearing a black shirt like mine today, when the sun is on you, you feel extra hot versus a white shirt or a light colored shirt. And the balloons are no different. Black attracts the heat, and it becomes like a solar
solar heater.
Solar heater on the balloons. Thank you.
Yeah.
My words sometimes don't come out right. But yeah, and so you would want to encourage them to lighter colors if it's going to be outside. But must ask client where these are going to be put. And if they want inside, outside, yeah, it's your job to educate them as to the issues with that, okay? So if we design it to be outside and we've got these inflated so they're going to be fine outside, when they bring them inside to their AC'd house, they're going to shrivel, right? So a lot of customer service is managing their expectations. They're fine if you tell them ahead of time, okay, that's not a problem. We'll design for your party outside. When you bring it inside, it's going to look shriveled and it's going to be a little underinflated, but it'll still be fine, but it will look like it's got a bit of a hole in it. And they'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. That's fine, as long as it's fine for the party outside.
Right.
But if you don't tell them and that starts happening, they're going to be all over you going, oh, your balloons didn't hold up.
Yeah.
Manage expectations.
And also tell them how to reinflate it, because they love this information being given to them, from heat to AC, and just tell them, hey, if you just take a normal little straw and blow it up, they'll reinflate. And then
a lot of people have an air pump from the dollar store now too.
Yeah.
If they're throwing a party, usually they have an air pump from the dollar store, and you tell them, okay, you can just add a little more air and it'll be fine, and they're good with that. So managing expectations, but it is an extra thing to think about when you are designing for the weather.
Yeah.
Okay. I know a lot of designers that strictly say no outdoors. They will not do an outdoor installation. Here, I have found that would be very difficult. I think a lot of people in Canada, when it's the summer, we get so little summer, we want to be outside as much as possible. I know Randy and I do.
Yes.
Thus the tans. So if you're going to say no to doing outside, and I respect your decision, that's not a problem, but understand you're going to hear no's quite a bit, because especially here, I find outdoors is a big thing.
Yeah, and all you got to do is manage their expectations of how the balloons are going to look, what they're going to look like.
Yeah, and
what they're going to see.
let them make the decision, because once they've made the decision, you've given them all the information, what it's going to look like, what's going to happen to it. It's on them. It's not on you at that point, because you have told them. Okay, so rule number 1, customer service, educate your customers, because they don't know. A lot of people have no idea about balloons. So, okay, are you ready for the results of our outdoor trials?
Yep.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to pause. You'll see us edit this part out, and we're going to switch this up, and then we'll be right back with you in 2 seconds. All right, we're back with our sticks that we put outside. To recap, it was 29 degrees Celsius, and that's 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was full sun, full sun, high humidex. Okay, so it was very humid outside. And these are our results. So this is the stick that we used the high shine with. And this front area was the old version of the high shine. As you can see, we have 2 failures. But they weren't pop-outs, they were shrinks, which was interesting. The shine stayed nice, okay? On the back, where I used the new aerosol high shine, it did really, really well. It looked nice and shiny for the duration of the day. We lost one in the middle there. But what I noticed is the bugs were really attracted to the aerosol one. I don't know why, but I don't know if you can see it there. These are covered in the little gnats and stuff. So all in all, we had deflation, no outright pops with the high shine, but not great results for not horribly hot weather. Like if you're in Texas and you're like getting 95, 97 degree weather, or over 100 degree weather, I'm sorry, first of all, and I don't know how well the high shine would do. I was always told no high shine outside in anything I saw, because the oils work like water in the pool and attract, because they're more shiny, they're going to attract more of the heat, is what I was always taught. I believe that this is to be the case after doing this test, because our control one, I got a little bit of high shine on there. we'll turn it this way. We popped right outright, but it was pretty early on, one of the Tuftex black balloons, but the rest stayed nicely. Yes, they oxidized, but again, if you manage customers' expectations, tell them it's going to fade out, it's going to look matte. It's a very trendy look, is what I tell them. But yeah, so we did lose one, but overall, I think this is the better look at the end of the day for the clients taking pictures. Yes, oxidized, but at least they're full and inflated. So my conclusion to our experiment is I would continue to use amazing quality products. Okay, to recap, these two were Sempertex, this was Tuftex. Holds up much better in the weather than like the Amazon balloon kits and stuff. And I would do no high shine unless the client specifically asked. Not to mention high shine adds to your cost. Don't forget to add that into your pricing calculator. I can, out of 1 can of aerosol high shine, I can do 2 like 12-foot garlands. So manage that, and it's like $20. So $10 a garland added on to your expenses. So please keep that in mind when you're doing your pricing. I hope this helps you when you are learning to design for outside. And I've been dying my whole life to say this, but check out our new shirts. Merch is in our website. If you're interested, I'm adding a whole bunch of new things all the time. And if you will bear with me, I'm going to do a shameless plug for our upcoming webinar that we have coming up August 15th online. It's a Zoom call. You can find out details on our website, looneyballooneylearningcenter.com. And then for anyone who wants to travel or is local to the Toronto area, August 20th, we are going to be doing a workshop, hands-on workshop, making a double-digit marquee with distorted flowers. Everyone's been bugging me to do a distorted flowers class. Here it is for y'all. All right, and that information is on our website as well. Check it out sooner than later. There's a price discount if you book before August 10th for that workshop. Yeah, so Randy's just coaching me from the background there. He's telling me to tell them all to subscribe, like, and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching. Supporting us, supporting you is the best win-win situation. All right, we're happy to bring you all this content, but if we can get you to give us a little love back, I would love that. All right, see you next week for episode 4 of our podcast to help you balloon it yourself. Take care. Mwah.